So today we're going to be doing a Robinhood versus Fidelity comparison. We're going to be going over some of the different features and benefits that each one will offer you. Now we're going to hop over here on the computer so you can follow along in real time and see all the differences. So the first thing we want to talk about is the fees and commission. So you can see right over here, the pioneer of commission free is actually with Robinhood, and they are still like that today. There are no account minimums as well as no maintenance fees. Now, it also makes it very low cost entry point for a lot of beginner investors. So this is a great way to get started. Now, also too, with Fidelity, they do offer $0 commissions for online stocks and ETFs, as well as option trading. However, there are fees on things like their mutual funds, as well as some other different offers that they have, specifically advisors for different services they offer. Now, as we go through the rest of this list, the links to these companies will be in the show notes down below. Some of them will offer you some nice sign up bonuses when using our link and supporting us out. But the other great thing is there will be some beginner guides in the show notes as well for you. So if you do decide to get started and using our link, we will also provide you with some free beginner's guide tutorials. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is the account types. Now, with Robinhood, they have a brokerage account as well as a traditional and a Roth 401k. They also do have a new joint account available for people who are wanting to have theirs and their spouse's accounts put together. Now, with Fidelity, you are going to get a much bigger array of actual types of accounts, not only the taxable accounts, as well as the different types of IRAs. You can even do 529 college plans and also manage different types of accounts that are catered to a much broader financial planning need for yourself and your family. Now, next up is going to be the user experience and design, and Robinhood kind of takes the win on this one here when it comes to using it on mobile. It is pretty much mobile first, although they do also now have a desktop as well. So it's really easy to utilize for new beginners when it comes to getting started and going through the motions of getting your first stock in your portfolio. Now, Fidelity does offer a more traditional comprehensive platform, so there is a lot more going on with it. Its desktop and mobile interface are packed with a lot of tools and details. Again, we have those tutorial guides for you in the show notes below. So if you want to actually see what they look like before signing up for either of them, you can go through and see what their user interfaces will look like. So next up, we're talking about fractional shares. This effectively allows you to buy in dollar amounts for whatever amount you can put in at any given time, rather than needing to buy a full share of a company or an ETF. And as you can see here, Robinhood actually offers fractional shares as their core feature. It allows you to invest in a piece of a company with as little as $1. This is a perfect way to build a diversified portfolio on a very small budget. Now, with Fidelity, they do also offer fractional shares, but they call them stock slices, fairly similar, but they are kind of limited in what you can actually do those stock slices with. Typically, it's going to be companies in the S&P 500, so it's still pretty broad, but just something to consider when getting started. You're going to be a little bit more limited with Fidelity over Robinhood on what you can buy in fractional shares. So next up is dividend investing. If you are somebody who's interested in earning income from the companies you are holding and want to buy back into them, this is going to be a really important feature here for you. You can see Robinhood has a very user-friendly dividend investing program, is typically called DRIP. That's what you'll hear it as. And it's eligible for stocks and ETFs. And what's really great about this, it's a simple way to set up in your settings. We have videos on it as well too, just how to set it up. It's a quick toggle on, and then it'll just take all the income that gets paid out from a stock or an ETF and buys right back into those companies. So you can drip, which means, again, dividend reinvestment program, back into those companies. Now, Fidelity does also have the drip program, meaning those dividends that get paid out will go purchase right back into the companies that paid them out. So you can just have that automated on the back end and don't have to think about it twice. Now, next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about cash management. So in case you are wanting to have a little bit of money extra set aside in your investment account, or maybe you want to kind of combine your investment and your cash management system together, right here, you can see Robinhood does offer a cash management account that actually earns a really high APY. And if you're their gold member, you can actually get a pretty substantial increase on that APY. So that's going to be the interest rate you earn on money just sitting in your account. This is a simple system inside of Robinhood, and they have a separate section where if you wanted to use some of your money inside of your Robinhood account, you can actually get a debit card to go ahead and spend with that money. Now, Fidelity, on the other hand, actually has a little bit more of a robust checking account with features and competitive rates similar to what we just talked about with Robinhood. I typically don't say the rates here on video just because the rates will eventually change over time. But as far as the rates that Robinhood and Fidelity offer are really competitive and on the higher end, very similar to a high yield savings account, while these are typically either cash accounts or checking accounts that are offering this much higher APY. Now, we are going to talk a little bit about options trading in case you are curious a little bit about that and want to get into it. For many beginners, this might not be the route you want to take, but it is something to consider for the long term. You can see Robinhood is known for making options trading accessible and commission free, while there are still going to be regulatory and exchange fees that will apply. Now with Fidelity, you can see they will also offer a wide range of options strategies, but there are going to be fees about 65 cents per contract as of this recording. And their platform is a little bit more with the advanced tools as of right now, but they can be a little bit more complex for those that are just getting started. But again, just wanted to have those out there for you when it comes to making a decision on which of these platforms might be a better one for you. Now, when it comes to research and education on each of these platforms and brokerages, you can see here that Robinhood has a little bit more on just the essentials when it comes to their charts, although their desktop version is getting pretty amplified with advanced tools. But as of this recording, we're mainly just focusing on the app portion of this, and you can see it's pretty minimal, but you can definitely get a little bit of what you need as far as learning tools and information about each individual stock if you're trying to learn more about them. While it still might be best to go out and find more of that information on other websites and platforms. Now, Fidelity, on the other hand, has a lot more of a massive library when it comes to research, news, reports from top providers, as well as its excellent resource for investors who want to have a deep dive analysis. And that's mainly going to be on the desktop version. The app version does have a little bit to be desired based off of how it does function on the website, but nonetheless, they are still going to be compatible whether you're logging in from the app or the website, you're still having access to all of that great information. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to have those links for you in the show notes down below if you want to go ahead and sign up for either one of these platforms, as well as their beginner guides that I'll have linked up in the show notes down below that we've put together for you completely free. So you can go ahead and learn all about these platforms when it comes to depositing money and investing into your future. Now, I did one little step further for you too. I tossed in one of those beginner guides right over here for you, so you can actually just jump right to it and get started with learning how to use that platform.